I just waiting for a couple of people. Why it is confusing? Which lesson is confusing? Let me get. Which lesson is confusing? What? Shreya, which lesson is confusing? Hello.
I think it was the linear relations.
So there's a lesson on slopes, right? Then there's a lesson on linear graph, and then this is where we talk about the partial and partial variant, and then well, I get a little chart to fill out. You will visit the Desmos, look at the graphing calculator, write the equation. I asked you guys to do the task, and then using what you know from the table, describe the transformation. And then there's therefore state the slope and line. Okay, you know what? We will practice it going through that. I just gonna go through that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's coming. 6. So, and then Akshaya won't be able to come in. Akshara is here. Vaishali is not coming. Okay, that's fine. Just wait for one more student and we'll get started. I'm gonna go through each question. Okay, so let's go back to the people who's learning math at school. Michelle, where are you?
Me, right now we're starting on linear equations.
Solving linear equations or linear relations?
Linear relations.
Okay. Just gonna wait for one more student to get started. And then where are you, Shivam?
Hello, sorry, I'm trying to connect the mouse right now.
All right. And then how about Akshara? What you learning at school, Akshara?
Equations like in the standard form of a slope.
Standard form of the slopes, okay. Adi, my next student is here. Just you don't need to be open right now. Just go there. When the bell rings, you can open it, okay? No, she will ring the bell. No worries. So, Sharon, where are you? Oh, yeah, you didn't know what you're learning.
Oh, I'm doing like collecting data and putting it in a graph.
Yeah, data management. Okay. All right, just waiting for her, one more student, and then we'll get started. Sorry? Look at that. She's ringing bell now. All right, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna be taking up the solution because it might confuse you guys linear relations. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna go through the answers so that you get an idea. All right. So last class we went through several lessons. So first lesson is in the slopes. So we're gonna get started with that. So I'm gonna quickly go through that so you can see. How are you? So you got your quizzes. Yeah. All right. You can pass it in. So I'm gonna. What are you learning at school? Okay. And where are you in linear step? You can come to the front. It's easy.
Identifying lines with like algebraically.
Find the equation of the lines. All right. So take out the quizzes. I'm going to get started. All right, guys. So last class, we talked about one concept called slope. To find a slope is about rise over run. So I'm not sure what the difficulty is here. You just need to going back. Use the given rise and run values, determine the slope each segment, express your answer in fractions. So rise is -5, run is 7. Rise is 8, run is 2, which is 24. Rise is 2, run is 3. Are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rise is -18 divided by 6 is -3. I don't think so. Question number 1 is a difficult question. Determine the slope of the line with the following value. That's again easy, rise over run. We talk about that. You need to memorize that. Rise is 3 over run, 3 over 10, minus 9 over 8. Nothing you can do, rise over run. And then rise over run, 4.25, negative or 0.5. So you need to simplify as a decimal form so you can divide. So 42.5 divided by 5. So that is going to be -8.25, 8.5. Rise over run. So rise over run. So rise is 0 divided by 17. You will get 0. Now determine the slope of the following line. I'm not going to do all of them. I will just do 2 of them. So let's going back to this guy. So if you want to find the rise over run, always find the 2 points in the graph. It's a pretty straightforward concept. So I see obviously this nice point. So that point is 1,7. Then I see another nice point here, which is 4,1. So rise over run. So we talk about there's one way to find this rise over run. One way, we label these coordinates x1, y1, and we call this x2, y2. So there's a formula to find a slope y2 minus x2 minus x1. Y2 is 1 minus 7 over. So it's very important. I start from here, isn't it? Y2. So 1 minus 7 over. And x2, 4 minus 1. So that is going to be -6 over 3, which is going to be -2. Now, let's see, I'm switching these one back. This is my x2, this is my y2, this is my x1, this is my y1. Let's see if I get the same answer. Y2 is the 7 minus y1, 1 over x2, 1 minus 4, which is going to be 7 minus 1, 6 divided by -3, -2. So order doesn't matter. But if you choose x1 first, then you choose the y1 when you subtract. Now the next one, using the grid, draw the line with the following slope. So all you need to do is just randomly mark a point. I just get a marker point here. This is say rise is 5, run is 7. So rise is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? And just one more. A minute. Are you seeing the picture? Pretty straightforward. If you have a question, you have to ask. Then this is confusing, -3 over 4. -3 over 4 mean you can apply the -3, one of the number, not both of the numbers. So I am going to be randomly choose the point. -3 is the rise over answer. -3 is rise. -3 rise means should I go up or down? Down. So how many unit? 1, 2, 3 unit. And the run is 4. Run 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my starting point. This is my ending point. So I can simply connect that, isn't it? Now this one a little tricky. A slope is 8. Oh, what is slope is 8? How do I roll the rise? Well, you can imagine 8 as 8 divided by 1, isn't it? 8 divided by 1 is 8. So what is my, so I'm going to be just put a point. Rise is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. That's it. You can connect the point. Right, nicely. That's, why do you start -5? You can just any way you want. It doesn't matter. Right? You just need to prove that there's a slope. Now -4. So -4 is going to be -4 is -4 over 1. So I'm just going to choose it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then done. And then I'm going to connect those 2 points. Any question with that?
No.
All right. Now, there's a lot of questions here I don't really want to talk about. So let's go back to undefined. We talk about undefined mean, Vishali, how the line should look like, undefined slope. But how the line will look like. We talk about this in class, last class, how the line will look like, infinity slope.
It's zero. There's no.
Okay, let's go back to Nishal. Are you here?
It should be vertical.
Vertical. That's right. Line is vertical. Any line vertical going through any x value, but vertical parallel to the y-axis has an infinity slope. All right, going back to Shreya. If I have a slope of 0, how the line should look like?
It should be like in the middle of the like 0. Like
So slope is 0, I mean the line must be horizontal. So example of a line slope 0 can be this line, a line that is simply parallel to the x-axis. So this line, it can be this line, it can be this line, it can be this line. Any line that's going parallel to the x-axis has slope is 0. All have a slope 0. Are you guys following that? Makes sense? Okay, now this is going to be a little tricky, negative 0.5. Well, it's not easy to visualize a slope with a negative 0.5, but negative 0.5 is negative 1.5, isn't it? You got to rise, you got to run. All right. Any specific question on that handout that you guys struggle with? So all the question determine the slope. You should know how to mark a point, determine the slope of the following line. It's the same question. And then using the first differences shouldn't be a problem. I show you how to calculate the first differences, right? So first differences. Now the graph shows accuracy of Bob watch, how long it has been since he last sat. So we will talk about that, some questions here. So I'm going to say any questions that ask to find a slope, you should be doing it expert. Now we talk about the first differences. So first differences tells if a line is linear or not. If the first differences is constant, we talk about a line is linear, isn't it? But something we need to be careful. To tell the first difference is constant, you need to make sure your x values are going by a fixed amount. Is the x values are going by a fixed amount? Then find a difference between 24 minus 12. What would you get? 36 minus 24? 48 minus 36. 12. 60 minus 48. 72 minus 60. So what do we confirm here? Linear relation, isn't it? Linear relation. Why we confirm linear relation? Because of first differences, constant. Are you following that? All right. So there are several questions here, almost done. So let's going back some questions here. I would like to play around. The graph shows the accuracy of Rob's watch. It's related to how long it has been since last set. So days since the watch last set, and then accuracy second behind. What is the rate of change? And answer your decimal or integer. So in this case, we had to be careful. We had to choose 2 points. So I'm going to choose this point. I'm going to choose this point. This point is 1 comma. For that point is 3 comma 7. So how do I kind of find rate of change? I can mark some points, x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 7 minus 4 over 3 minus 1. This is going to be 3 divided by 2, 1.5. What is 1.5 represent? When they ask the rate of change, you need to tell the unit. Second behind since last set. So that's basically day, isn't it? It is behind by 1.5 seconds per day from we last set it. Make sense? Are you following that? All right. So I don't really going to bother unless just you guys can ask me questions. Any other questions on that lesson? So this is lesson. This is about the slope lesson. So this is the lesson on slope. 5 point on my little thing is 5.2. Anything in 5.2 that you guys need help with other than the questions I discussed?
No.
About you? Did you do the homework? Because so cannot be an excuse, right? That's not a race. Right. Not doing the homework, you can't give an excuse. You have enough time. You can go back to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yes. Right. So it's very easy to say I have a test, I have to prepare for that. So I'll tell at the end of the class, you didn't do homework. I'll tell you that. You didn't do the homework. Okay, we're gonna moving back. So what we're gonna moving back to the linear graph. We have been talking about direct and partial variations. We have been talking about how we can able to create the equation on the graphs. And then I asked you guys to do the following activity. I believe that you all have done it. So pretty good. You have drawn that in the decimals. So you guys going to be quickly answer. So Nishal, you're going to answer 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to tell me, you're going to read from your table that you have. Can you quickly tell me, Nishal, where's cross the y-axis? Hi, Nishal. You just need to read from the table you have done. Just take just less than a 30-second to complete all of them. If you have done it, just read it. I'm going to fill it.
I forgot to do those.
You forgot to do. And then you have a test too.
Not yet. Soon.
Yes, turn on your webcam, please. Still missing the webcam from a few people. All right, Shreya, you have done the homework for the table, did you? Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me quickly the first 4? Where it's cross the y-axis based on the graph you see?
So, hold on. I need to open it. So for y equals x, it crosses at like the 0.
So x equal to 0. Okay, rising or falling?
It's rising.
All right. The slope of the line,
1.
direct or partial?
I didn't understand what that
So
meant.
direct or partial is, you need to ask yourself, when x is 0, if y is also 0, that is direct. If x is 0, y is not 0, then it's partial. That's it. But in other way, if the graph go through the origin, we call it direct. If the graph not going through the origin, somewhere like that, these are all partial. So what do you think?
Direct.
Direct. Akshara. Let's go back to the next one, Akshara. I'm going to ask this one. Where do you find, Akshara, the graph cross the y-axis?
I didn't do that.
Because?
I didn't really have time.
Sorry, you say you don't have a time.
No, it's just that I had really a lot of homework.
You have a lot of homework. That means there's a homework that's take you the 24/7 of the day since the last class.
No.
You have a TikTok?
Yeah.
How much of time you spend on TikTok based on your mobile device?
I don't really go on my phone a lot.
You don't really go on it. Okay, how about Instagram?
I don't have it.
So where does the time goes then? Where does the time goes? All right, guys. So let's going back to who did it. Shreya, did you do this question?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you find out where it's crossing the x-axis?
So
we're looking for the y, yes, cross the y-axis at, yes.
I think it was 5. Yeah, 5.
Pretty good. All right. Next one, rising or falling?
Falling.
Pretty good. Next question, slope.
-7, -7.
All right, last question is direct or partial?
Partial.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Nichelle, you're gonna do this one for me. Where it's crossed the y-axis.
Wait, what?
Where is crossed the y-axis?
What does that mean again?
Hmm?
What does that mean?
Where is crossed the y-axis? So in the coordinate plane, you got, this is the x-axis, y-axis. The question is, where does graph cross the y-axis? The y-axis is this axis. Where do you think is crossed the y-axis? The question has to find the answer from Desmos. You just can't simply type that in Desmos graph. 1 second, let me see. And let me do that in Desmos. So Desmos graph. Y is equal to 1 divided by 10 x plus what I got? 1 divided by 10 x, 1 divided by x plus 9. All right. That's my graph. That is my graph. So can you tell me where it's crossing that y-axis at?
At 9?
At 9. So that is crossing at 9. Now we can clearly see the graph is raising, isn't it? The slope of the graph, you can go back to see slope from the graph. You can see how the slope will look like, right? So we need to run, if we can see the axis, a weird graph. Oh my gosh, where's one? Okay, so if you do the calculation, you can see that's going to be 1/10. And because we're not starting at 0, we call this partial, isn't it? So you guys should be able to see the pattern using what you know from the table without graphing, answer the questions. So I'm going back to right now, Sharon, what is the slope? What is the y-intercept, sir?
The slope is -5.
Y-intercept?
Is 2.
Akshara. If you understand what we're talking about, what is the slope, Akshara, here? What is the y-intercept?
The slope is
Slope is what?
I'm not sure.
You have learned that, lady. So this is a level 1 question I'm asking. The slope is what the number in front of the x. Slope is 3/8. Y-intercept, so we're just going to generalize the form. It's mx plus b. M is the slope, the b is the y-intercept. You don't have a b here, so y-intercept is going to be 0. All right, Vishali here, D. What is the slope, Vishali? -9/2. What is the y-intercept? -3. Are you following that? So what is the connection between the equation and where the line crosses the y-axis? So explain. So the equation, when it's in the form of mx plus b, where it's crossed the y-axis is the b value, isn't it? So that is the y-intercept, we call it. What is the connection between the equation and that? The way we say rises. You can see slope is positive. When the slope is positive, we say rising, isn't it? When the slope is negative, we say it's falling, isn't it? Are you following that?
Yeah.
Now, what's the connection between the equation and the steepness of the graph? The steepness is the same as slope, which is the same as rate of change. Are you just following that?
Yeah.
equation of the line in the slope intercept form, because this is the slope intercept y is equal to mx plus b, where m represent the slope, y represent the intercept. So you can see a clear picture. The point in which the graph crosses the y-axis. For each one of the following, state the slope and y-intercept. Nishal, can you tell me what's the slope and y-intercept? What is the m value, Nishal?
The y-intercept is 4 and the slope is 2.
All right, Shreya, what is the slope and y-intercept?
The slope is -2 and
Y-intercept.
5.
Sharon, what is the slope?
1/2,
Y-intercept.
-3.
All right. I think I also assigned this one as your homework question before I moving back to the equation of the line. That's the critical part of the lesson. For each one of the following, state the slope and the y-intercept. I know you guys are expert. I don't really worry about it, but there are questions I am worried about it. You guys didn't do the homework. Are you guys copy down the answers?
Yeah.
This handout is given to everyone last class. All right. So, Akshara, your turn. What is the slope of C and a y-intercept?
The slope is 3. I mean,
Easy one. Easy
X.
one.
X.
Y is equal to mx plus b. The slope cannot be a variable. The slope is the number.
Oh.
The number in front of the x is the slope. The b is the y-intercept. What is the slope?
0.
I know you're going to say that. It's a most common mistake. When you don't have any number in front of ax, that does not mean 0, because 0 times x is going to be nothing. So its slope is 1. Make sense?
Yeah.
Y-intercept. What is the y-intercept, lady?
3.
You're missing this -3.
Oh. -3.
Well, these are pretty straightforward stuff. So if you can't able to answer that, then it's a really concerning, right? All right. Vishali D. Can you pass your quizzes and tests you have? I'd like to see. Just pass it. Can you get them, sir? Which school you're in? And then you're going to? Oh, that's it?
These are like the ones for this subject.
Okay. Yeah, but I want to see the one that you have done before. Where are they? Only 2 assessments you have done so far in your school?
No, I did. But like
I need to know everything that you have done. Okay, pass this. So collect all of them that you have done. I would like to see what's going on. All right. So going back to whose turn is not Akshara. Okay, Akshara, you do D again. What is the slope, lady?
Slope is negative 0.5.
Okay, what is the y-intercept?
1.
How come? Where did you see one? I'm
Oh, wait,
curious to.
I thought
Huh?
X was not. I didn't see X.
Okay, what is the y-intercept?
Um, 0.
That is right. All right, Shreya, what is the slope?
-4.
Huh.
Only 3.
All right. Do you guys know why these questions are sitting there? For a reason. Y-intercept.
-4.
And then how many people do you think is going to make the same mistake as you did in a class? Half the class will do that. Half the class will make the mistake. And then I will put the question on the test. When I create the questions, I look here at what are the most common mistake kids would do. What? No. When I creating a assessment, test or quiz, I always choose the question where kids make the most common mistake. Just want to teach them a lesson. You might need to pull this way. The side is going to be the with the leg. Just push it just like that with the leg. Okay, all good. You're collected. Yes, passage. All right. You also learned the volume. All right. You learn circles. How many times they do the assessment?
Like every new thing we learn, she gives us a thing.
Okay, and then she enter the marks by. How does she enter the marks? Levels.
Yeah, like circles each level like that.
Okay, and then it's always like this. How long she give the time? For
Like 12 minutes.
12 minutes for each one of them. Didn't you never did anything? You never did any test. Longer test.
We did tests, but they're all at home. Like I got my quizzes.
Okay, because the quizzes doesn't tell like big story. Most of them you did level 3 and 4, right? So that's basically reflect on your marks. What you get makes sense, but I also need to see. So I didn't see any big issue. There's a few mistakes here and there, but bring that test as well. So she does the quizzes.
I think I have my
Latest test. Okay, I will check that out. All right, we're gonna move on. Now, guys, what we have done is we simply get it directly from the equation. Now we're gonna find that from the graph. So let's going back to Nishal. Question number 2, Nishal. What is the slope and what is the y-intercept? Nishal?
I didn't do that one, but do you want me to like do it right now and then tell the answer?
Sure, yes. You can do that and find the answer. Just hold on. I'm just going to say, okay, so we have a few more questions to discuss here. Yes. Can you tell me what the y-intercept is? I'm asking her, sir. Okay, what is the y-intercept, sir? I can't wait. Yes. 1. What's the slope? Two. So from here, you go back to this point. Let's choose that point. 2 unit up, 1 unit to the right. And the scales are going by 1. So rise over run. So slope is 2. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Okay, Shreya, what did you get for B, Shreya, y-intercept?
2.
What is the slope?
3.
Slope is 3. Okay, that's not correct. So let me going back. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to choose one point. So this point has 0, 2 as a coordinate. I'm going to choose another point. This coordinate has 1, -1 as a coordinate. So we can rewrite as x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's do the slope by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 minus 1. y1, 2. x2, 1 minus 0. Minus 3 over 1 is -3 is the slope. Are you seeing that, lady? Hello?
Yeah.
All right. Also, you can do this way. You need to come down 3 unit, go to the right 1 unit to next point. So come down mean -3, isn't it? All right, guys. So we're going to do some application type of questions here. So there's a couple of questions here. Let's do number 4. A video arcade game costs $25 to purchase. And every time the game is played, $1.50 is deducted from the card. Write an equation to represent the scenario. Let P be the purchase price of the card and G be the cost per game. So you got $25 to purchase the card, a video arcade game, and every time a game is played, you spend $1.50, isn't it? So original purchase price is equal to $25 minus $1.50 times it by G. Are you guys following that? You start out with the $25. Every time you spend the money, you're going to spend $1.50. How much money would be left after playing 11 games? So P is 25 minus 1.5 times 11, isn't it? So 25 minus 16.5. So P is 7.5, 8.5, $8.5. Make sense? Are you seeing that? All right. So there are some good questions. I'm going back to, let's go back to the thinking question. A line x-intercept is the coordinate of the point where it's crossed the x-axis. So x-intercept is where it's crossed in the x-axis. Yes? Are you following that? Now, on the x-axis, what is the y-coordinate, Akshara? On the x-axis, what is the y-coordinate? Sharon, what is the y coordinate on the x-axis?
-2.
Shreya, what is the y coordinate on the x-axis of a point?
Oh.
Well,
What is the y coordinate on a point on the x-axis? If I have a point on the x-axis, okay, let me mark the point. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. I'm going to mark a couple of points. So Shreya, can you read the point? What is the coordinate of the point?
1.
Coordinate, you don't say 1. Coordinate always 2 pair of points. What is the coordinate of that point?
Oh, 1, 0.
What is 1 representing? X coordinate or y coordinate?
X.
X coordinate. What is the y coordinate?
0.
What is that? Okay. Nishal, what is that coordinate of that point? So let's call this point B. What's the coordinate of point B, Nishal?
4, 0.
4, 0. What is the y coordinate here?
0 and the 4 is the x coordinate.
So when a point is on the x-axis, what is the y coordinate? Is everyone agree with that? So they want you to find the x-intercept. Akshara and then Shreya, are you guys following that?
Yeah.
So x-intercept mean y coordinate is 0. So if I move the 12 to the other side, -12 is equal to -6x divided by -6. X must be 2, isn't it? Are you following that? Yes?
Yep.
All right, I'm not doing all the questions. So I'm expecting that you should be able to get that. So we're gonna going back to the equation of the lines. So create an equation of the line from table of values, graph, and description. That's what we're gonna work on. We know equation of the line in general is given by the following formula. Y is equal to mx plus b. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. We have learned that. Make sense? You do have that handout printed, do you? Let me see, sir. I did print it. 5.4. All right. So let's going back to the three things. Our goal is to be able to go back and forth between the following representation of a line: equation, graph, and table. If you have a direct variation, the equation will look like y is equal to mx. Partial variation, there will be a y-intercept. So label the graph as partial or direct, and then we're gonna do the following. So let's start from Akshara. Akshara, beast, partial or direct?
Direct.
So this question, Akshara, a level 1 minus task. There's no math involved. It's just checking for the understanding whether you understand a direct and partial. So I clearly mentioned how to identify the direct and partial. The direct will go through the origin. Partial 1. Origin is the point called 0, 0. It doesn't go through the origin, so therefore it's partial. The b value, it's going to be the y-intercept, which is 5. To find a rate of change, we need to find a slope, isn't it? So how do I do the slope? I can choose 2 points. So here's my point. What is my point? 3, 6. I'm going to choose this point, 9, 8. So how do I find a rate of change? Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, isn't it? 8 minus 6 over 9 minus 3. 8 minus 6 is 9 minus 3 is 1 over 3. So how do I write the equation? The slope. Equation is going to be the slope y is equal to the slope 1/3 of x plus the y-intercept is 5. Are you just following that? Okay, can you just complete a B and C for me? Just gonna give 2 or 3 minutes.
Wait, does it have to be a fraction?
Simplified fraction.
How can you simplify 1/3?
You can't, so it's 1/3. You done? And then also pass your test. See the format of the test. So gonna get. All right. So that's overall expectation measurement geometry.
Do we have to do both questions?
Yeah, both questions.
Can I use the bathroom?
Yep. Hold on, sir.
Can I take water bottle?
Yes, sir. Just go inside. Unless if it is a brand new, then you can go for it. So you're not doing that, but it's a little more work to do to get to level 4. It's not, and especially for the grade 9. Yeah, well, your test is pretty good test. So it's a heavy test. And then she gave a levels here for the quizzes, so no level on the test.
No.
Now, how that percentage of the marks works? Do they count by? Do they do by tests this much, quizzes this much?
So she counts all my tests, but for the quizzes, she selects a couple, but like we don't know what she chooses. And the marks for like communication is like different.
Okay.
from our
Short
test.
answers, 17 marks. We can't really do. We don't do this in my school. If I do this test, it's thrown out. We just give mostly quizzes and smaller quizzes. So it's all of them are quizzes in grade 9. It's really tough with the D-stream class. We got, and you have like 2 versions. Okay. Yes. So it's not that you're not doing so bad. It's just a little more push to get. And I think that right now, when you're moving forward, that you probably see things we have learned is coming up. All right, guys. So now, whose turn is Shreya? What do you got? Direct or partial?
For the first one?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, second one. I already did the first one.
Oh, direct.
Direct. What is the B value you got?
0.
What is the rate of change you got?
A half.
Sorry?
Like 1/2.
1/2. That's right. What?
We can't see your
Oh.
screen.
You can see my screen and then I circle partial. How come? Everything is good. So just give me a moment. So this is direct. Can you see that right now, sir? And then B is 0. Rate of change is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rise over run. So rise over run. So run is 6. And the rise is 3. So that is going to be 1/2. So equation is equal to 1/2 of x. Because the B is 0, it's 1/2 of x. What do you get, sir, for that third one? Partial or direct? Partial. What is the B value you got? 5. What is the rate of change you got, sir?
1 and
Half. So we can, what?
1 over -2.
Okay, so if I choose this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unit down. So it's going to be -5 over run, 10 unit to the right is going to be -1/2. So the equation is equal to -1/2 of x plus 5. Are you guys following that? Yes? Is that what you got? All right, so now we're going to going back to some creating equation from the table of values, creating equation from the word problem. That's what we're going to be practicing it, and then you got your questions. Okay, so before I move on, I want to sing this lesson. Yes, and then my goal is to get a 5.5 done, but I didn't print the 5.5. So if we do that, 5.5, 5.6 is point of intersection. That's one more to do. Well, yes. All right. Lot to go. Application. Okay, so well, I gotta go through. My goal is to just finish the linear relation in the next class. A lot to talk about in linear relation. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna going back to the problem where we want to find this information from the graph. So Akshara, direct or partial? Akshara. Oh, I think she left to use the washroom, so Akshara is not here. All right. All right, Nishal, direct or partial?
I just came back.
Okay.
Direct,
Direct. Why do you think it's direct?
because it starts at 0.
You don't look at the x value, lady. You need to look at it when x is 0. What is the y value? Did you get y values also 0?
No.
If you had a 0, 0, it's direct. Otherwise, it's partial. Make sense? Now, what is the b value, Nishal? The b value, to remember, b value is y-intercept. And y-intercept means where your graph touches the y-axis. When a graph touches the y-axis, something important to see, the x-coordinate must be 0. So to find a y-intercept using a table of values, go back to where x is 0 and find the answer. Do we have x is 0 and then corresponding values? So what is the b value?
$12 or what?
$12. Okay. Now rate of change. X2 minus x1 or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, isn't it?
16 minus 12.
Sorry?
16, 50 minus 12.
Yes, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to be right by coordinates 0, 12, and then 1, 16, 50, isn't it? So x1, y1, x2, y2. So what do we do? Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, isn't it? What is my y2? 1650 minus 12, and then 1 minus 0. So that's going to be 450 divided by 1, which is 450. So rate of change is $450 per person. So what the equation? Y is equal to rate of change times it by x plus the y value, isn't it? All right. I can do this. You guys going to get the example. So this one, I'm looking at the table. I got a 0.00. So that means it's supposed to be direct. So when x is 0, if y is 0, my b value is 0. How do I find a rate of change? I can choose 2 points. Let me choose these 2 points a little differently. X1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to go back to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 19.6 minus 9.8 over 200 minus 100, which is 9.8 divided by 200 minus 100 is 100. 0.098. So what is my rate of change? The rate of change is, you can see, 0.098. Are you guys following that? Anyone is not following the math? 9.8 divided by 0. So what the equation is going to be? Y is equal to 0.098x plus, because the b is 0, we won't do anything. Are you guys following that example? Shreya, are you following that example? What's happening?
Yeah.
Akshara and Nishal and Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going back to the word problem. A water tank is being filled at a constant rate. If the tank initially contained 100 liters of water and it's filled at a rate of 5 liters per minute, we want to find out whether direct or partial. Initially mean here, initial when x is 0. When x is 0, it's contained 100 liters. So therefore, it's partial. You start with the 500. Rate of change is 5 liters per minute, isn't it? 5 liters per minute. So how the equation is going to be look like? Rate of change times it by x plus the b value. Anyone have any question with that? All right, so I'm gonna going back to Akshara. What do you think about the next example? The temperature of a hot cup of a tea decreases at a rate of 0.5 degree per minute. The initial temperature is 90 degrees Celsius. Partial or direct?
Direct.
You see that initial is a keyword. Remember, you might need to be taking notes, right? Initial. At initial, they say it's 90. When an initial value is not 0, then it's always going to be partial. And what's my initial value? Rate of change, 0.5 degree per minute, isn't it? So how the equation is going to look like? 0.5x plus. Okay, do you guys going to do these two? I'll be back. Can you guys do the next two questions? Let's see how that's going. Yes, sir. You done? You done? All right. All right. So let's ask my guys here. Vishali, what do you got? Population of cities going in. What is partial or direct? Yes, because the current population is 10,000. That's going to be the B value. Akshara, what is the rate? What is the rate, Akshara? Akshara? Hello. Are these guys gone? Am I sharing my screen? Yes, I'm sharing the screen. And then Akshara.
Yeah.
What is the equation? What's the rate of change? Rate of change.
500.
500. Can you tell me the equation? How's it going to look like?
Y equaled 100,000
Yeah.
plus 500x.
Pretty good. All right. Huh? You wanted to say, okay, sure, sir. What is partial or direct? Direct. What is the B value?
B value is 0.
That's right. If it's direct, B value is 0. What's the rate of change? Okay. So dollar per day.
Yeah. And equation y equals 95x.
Does everyone got that? Pretty straightforward. All right. Now, what we want to do is right now, we want to creating a graph from an equation. That's something important, very important skill. So here's the step. Plot the y-intercept. This is your starting point. Apply the rise over range, rise over run. All right. And then connect the points, drawing a line and ruler, draw all of the dotted lines, so and so. So let me see what they asked me to do. First, plot the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept here? 5. Apply the slope rise over run to the plot additional point. So what does that mean? The slope is -3, isn't it? This means rise over run is -3. So that is mean -3 over 1, because if there's no run, does not mean 0. So what is that telling us? You come down 3 unit, 1, 2, 3 unit. You go to the right by 1 unit. You come down 3 unit, go to the right by 1. You come down 3 unit, go to the right by 1 unit. Now they say connect all those points together. Now let's see what we can also do. Because you got an equation, you all know how to do substitution. We're going to substitute for the value of x. So if x is 0, y is equal to -3 times 0 plus 5. I will get 5, isn't it? When x is 1, y is equal to... Are you done with this? Copy down? You already finished graphing it? Right? And then when we got 2, -3 times 2 plus 5. So y is equal to -6 plus 5. Y is equal to -1. Right? Then at 3, we got -4. At 4, we got -7. You can also do that to graph it. So the best way to graph it, marking the x-intercept and using the slope. Do you guys see the technique? Hello?
Yeah.
All right. So sometimes you got a special case, horizontal line and vertical line. So a horizontal line, for example, here, this is the horizontal line, they just mark it. Now, when x is 0, y is 5, x is 1, y is 5, x is 2, y is 5. You can see the table because this is the line they're referring to. Regardless of what is my x value, the y values remain at, yes, sir.
What can we do it?
1, 2,
Negative
three.
y equals 5.
Actually 4, my bad. The points are 4. It's going through the 4. Yes, what's up?
Can it be like negative y, x equals -1 and then y equals 4?
No, this is the only way you can do it. So this equation is actually say y is equal to 4 because every coordinate on this line is 4, isn't it? Now let's go back to the vertical line. X is 3, x is 3, x is 3. I can put any values for y I want. I can put 1, I can put 2, I can put 3. It doesn't matter, right? And then this equation is simply given x is equal to 3. Are you seeing that? All right. So we learn how to graph, and then we know how to find the equation of the line. So we got some practice. We got some practice. You don't have a device, do you? You have it. Do you have a device? Pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I want to play with this before we moving back to our next unit is problem solving with linear relations. So, yes, sir. Desmos. One second. Oh, yes. That's some cool activity. Not system of linear. You guys ready to have fun? So, MTH Venrabaju, the right class. I have the right class. So let's have some fun. Assign. I'm gonna assign to this class. So I want you guys to go to the Google Classroom. If you go to the Google Classroom for this class, you're gonna have fun. So I want to see how you can have fun. So if you're going back to the group, you don't have a Google Classroom, sir?
I have my account now.
All right, guys. Are you in the Google Classroom? All right, so I'm just gonna go back to the Google Classroom and show you the code. Okay, here we go, sir. N5WYLXD. Done?
It's asking for verification.
I don't know what to do. Well, you can either just pull around it. I'm not gonna say anything. You're having a great night. Okay, you guys gonna get started. So the task is posted in the Google Classroom. So I'm gonna see that on my side. So Shreya, get started. Others, it's pretty straightforward. You sign in with your Gmail. You need to sign in with the Gmail. So when you go to the Google Classroom, there's an option to sign in with the Gmail, and you guys gonna be signing with the Gmail. And then I'm going to open the activity on my side. So linear equations. So what do we do? I'm going to sign in as a teacher. Log into the start activity. So I logged in. So this is how it's looked like. Why? N5WYLXD. Okay, sign in with that account, sir.
My dad put a permission thing. He's on a call, so I had to kind of wait until he.
Okay. Enter the coordinate of 2 points to construct the straight line and collect coins. So you had to move this line. You need to find a coordinate. So point A. So enter the coordinate of 2 points to collect the line. You need to find the coordinate of this point. So we're gonna going back to see how we should be able to find a coordinate. So the original equation of the line is 1x plus 0. So the point is 1, 1 is on there, and point 2, 2 is on there. Now enter the coordinate of 2 points. Construct a straight line and collect the coins. So if I click fly, I didn't do it. So they're giving another question. So the question here is enter the coordinate of 2 points to construct a straight line and collect the coins. So to collect the coins, you really need to find that coins, where the coins are lying, isn't it? So which coordinate the coins are lying. So that's something we need to find out. So I see one of the coordinate can be in this diagram. So let's going back here. This is 30, this is 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So if I go by 4 boxes, each box is how much? So this is, I can't really find a coordinate by going there, but you have to estimate a coordinate. So world 101, so let's go back to the diagram to see one of the coordinate can be, you can say 20, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, isn't it? So each box is 2.5. So one of the coordinate possible is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is going to be going by, I'm not sure if I'm going back to the, is it going back to the x-axis 20, 30? Just going to go back to the next task to see what exactly is. Oh, so you need to enter the points on the graph. So 1x plus 0. So 1x plus 0 can be, if I call 1 point is 1, 1 comma 1. Other point can be 2 comma 2. Can I have 2 comma 2? 1x plus 0. When x is 2, y is 2. That makes sense. Slope is 1, y-intercept is 0. So fly. Enter the coordinate of 2 points, you can straight line and collect. So that's the first part. Wait, what is, okay. Okay, I confused with the task. I thought it's a fun task, but the instruction is not quite clear. Enter the linear function below to get the Mario to collect coins. They want, okay, they want the equation of this, they want the equation of the black line. Let me go back, reset. Okay, it's gonna be logged into the activity again. Which line of equation they're looking for is. Anyone figure out what the question is asking on the Desmos? Let's see who is doing it. I thought it's a pretty nice activity, but let's see who got this. Vishal Ishwin, that's you, Vishal. I need to switch this task. So Nishal got that 1 comma 1 2 comma 2, and then so they're just simply looking for the questions. So let's go back to this question. Who got this right? So in this case, so correctness. I got 2 people. So who's that? Nishal and Aaron Raj. Aaron Raj, where are you, sir? 2412. Where did you get 2412?
You said to find the coins.
What?
The coins, like where the coins were. So I put the coins coordinate.
You just got the coins coordinate. Okay, so you need to really put the coins coordinate. That's the goal. So I'm going to go back to my activity again. You really need to put the coins coordinate. So it's not the coins. So for example, I'm looking at it. Where is my coins are? One of the coordinate I can say. What? How do you?
That wouldn't work.
That won't work because this is 20. This is going by 2.5. So the only thing is I know. So the possible coordinate for me is I need to edit this point A and point B. I'm just going to be going back to edit it. So this can be 25 and then not 25. Let me show you the first one. 25, comma, next point, that is 10. So between 10, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So 12. So that's the first point. the next point I'm going to show you, we're going to find it. I can say, so 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So first one, 25. The next point is going to be, I need to find some perfect one. I can't really find some super perfect one, but I'm going to be estimate this. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So 20 divided by 4 is, 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So 1, 2, 3 is going to be 2.5 times 3, 7.5. 27.5, comma. I'm not sure it's my comma. ABC, comma. Oops, that's not a comma. Comma. Where's my comma? Comma. Then I'm looking at the coordinate. That is 10. Let's see if that works. Oh, that has so many editing here. Slope undefined. Oh, that's the next question. It's gonna give end of the coordinate of 2.25. So how come I got 27.5? We need to find the coordinates, but not. I don't have a nice points. That's kind of weird. I got my first point 25, 12. My next point. Do we have some nice point here? Anyone seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have any other nice point? 25, 12 is a good point. My second point is not a nice point because that's in a corner. I'm gonna estimate 27.5, comma. Um, 27.5, comma, 27.5, comma, what's the point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Almost close.
Do like
But that's not what?
Do like 10.3. Does that work?
10.3. No, that's more than that. 10.5 doesn't work. 10.6, not quite right. 10.7, 10.7 is what I want. So let's see, fly. All right, so I got all of them coins. So I can go back to the next one. Enter the slope and y-intercept of a linear function below to get to collect points. So enter the slope and y-intercept. So now we need to get y-interceptors. Y-interceptors, let's going back here. So the y-intercept is so that is 10 boxes, isn't it? So that should be 6. So y-intercept is 6. Oops. Y-intercept is 6. The slope is, I'm going to be, say, how many points I need to go back. One half. Almost there. I got those. All right, I'm gonna post this task. I thought that's an easy task for you guys to begin with, but that's a little advanced task to estimate the coordinate. So I'm gonna just give a post to the task. What I'm gonna do is you all have a device. So we're gonna going back to do more practice with finding the equation of the line. So this is a pretty straightforward task. So just give me a moment. BHN math. You guys gonna see this task in the Google Classroom. This is a pretty straightforward practice. So we are working on equations of linear. y is equal to mx plus b. That's what I want to do. But I should have a good amount of questions finding the slopes. All right. All right. So I'm going to be assigning this task in the Google Classroom. George, you guys going to get this task going in Google Classroom. I will tell how to do this. I choose my right class. All right. So this is MTH1JJ grade 9 summer, grade 9 math summer 2023. Oh, summer 2024. Where's my class? Oh, yes, here we go. All right. You guys gonna see a task on a Google Classroom, but you can't really do right away. So what I want you guys to do is, somebody already accesses. Who accessed that? Oh, that's me. So I want you guys to go back to GeoGebra Classroom. Can you guys search this website, GeoGebra Classroom? I will put that for you guys on the chat. So copy, I can put that on the chat. So for people online, so I can put that on the chat. So let me put that on a chat, GeoGebra Classroom. You can directly link that. Okay. All I want you guys to do is, I'm going to show you a code. I'm going to show you a code that you need to put the code in your the GeoGebra Live. So here is the code. If you enter the code, I will see your name popping up. This is define a slope using 2 points. And I can see your names here. If you get 3 questions straight correct, then you good. You guys need to know how to go here. Hello. Okay, so I got Sharon popping in. Do you know how to go? You're gonna go to GeoGebra Live. So GeoGebra Live. So this is basically the website. I can post that also in the go. Can you go back to the website, GeoGebra Live?
What did you post the code?
Huh?
Did you post the code in
Hold on.
the
Can you go to the GeoGebra Live or not? Okay, so I will give the code. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm gonna show the code. The code is Q5JFCHDD.
Wait, do you have to use a graph?
Formula, sir. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. If you get 3 questions straight, then you can stop. So I'm missing a couple of people not joined yet. So those are Akshara and Nishal.
I'm in.
Where? I didn't see your name,
I'm doing one of the questions right now.
but I didn't see the name. If you use the code, I should be able to see the name. So where are you? I got Akshara's name popping up. Which question you doing?
I'm defining the slope right now.
How did you get access to the task?
I put in the code like you told me to. Well, let me try refreshing.
Which one is you? I didn't see the name here. I got Akshara, I got Sean, Vishali. You can, oh, now I see it. Okay. Now I can see it. Okay. 3 questions straight. I don't think so, Sharon, you got anyone of them correct yet, sir.
I got one.
Where?
The second one.
Okay, but 3 straight, correct. Three questions straight, correct.
I'm done.
You done? You got 3 straight correct? 1 second. Hello? Hello?
My name is Prakriti. I saw the ad on the
Mm-hmm. Well, it's currently available.
Yes, okay.
Mm-hmm. That possible. So far there's no one signed any paperwork. So this is a 1,000 square feet with a 50 square feet of balcony. 2,800. Mhm. Yes, so you should be able to see on the Realtor website. So I can, it's type 70639 New Delhi Drive, or I can text you a direct link. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Yes. Okay, no problem. All right. So how many of you got things straight correct? All right. Who, I didn't see Akshara started yet. I see Vishali got 3 correct. Shreya got 3 correct. Okay, pretty good. And Aaron Raj, did you get 3 straight correct?
I got my first.
All right. All right. I'm gonna keep the activity. There are a few of you practicing, and that's fine. So we see now we're gonna go back to graphing a line using slope and a point. So if I give a point and a slope, you need to be able to graph it. This is going to be a little challenging, but I'm just going to assign that to practice. So that's going to be grade 9. Where's my class goes? Here we go, grade 9. Here we go. All right, next task is assigned. So I'm going to pull that out from the Google Classroom. So you should be able to see the next task. At this point, I want the others to get into playing around with that. So it's finding graphing using slope. So here is the code. Okay, can you guys switch it back to this task? I will keep the task open. All right, I want everyone to move away from the previous task. So I just gonna going back to post my previous task you guys working on. I want you, okay, so this task, I'm gonna be going back to posting it. So let's post that task. So that task is post. So you're supposed to be working on my next task at this point. All right, I'm gonna show you how the task look like. So kind of weird on my phone to see it. So I'm gonna pull out the task on the other side. So code is here. I'm gonna show you what the task is. So line with the slope 3, 4 passing through the point. So now the question is drag a red point to the graph the line. So they already marked negative 30, negative 20. So we're gonna moving back to negative 30, negative 20. So I need to move this point. I'm gonna activate a task to show you. So negative 30, negative, oh, I get a different question. So we got a minus 5, 10. So negative 5, 10 is just going to be point here. So negative 5, 10, you can see that there's negative 5, 10. Slope is negative 10 over 3. So what does that mean? I need to move 3 units down from here. So if I move 3 units down from here, negative 5. So if I come 3 units down from here, so we need to see where would that point go. So from here, I'm going to come 3 units down. So where I am right now, I'm at negative 5, isn't it? My y coordinate is 10, isn't it? So if I come 3 units down, where would I go? I will go to 13. Are you following that? So
Yeah.
I can go back to the 13. But the problem is 13 is not a quite nice scale because 12, this is 16. 13 is not quite easy to find. So what I will do, I'm going to going upward. So I'm at 10. 10 plus 3 is 7. So let's see if I can go back to my point 7. So that is 8. You need to be move around to get the 7. And then the next point is, and it going back to 10 unit to the right side, isn't it? Are you following that? Hello?
Yeah.
So from here, so the best part to do is, see from here what will be the next point. So I got negative 5, 10. So I'm going to go back here. My point is negative 5, 10. What is the slope they gave? The slope is negative 3 over 10, isn't it? Negative 3 over 10. So here's what we're going to do. If you have this negative 5, 10, this negative 3 says you're going to come down 3 units down. So if you come down 3 units, this coordinate will change. So this is negative 10, 3. Is it negative 5, negative 10 or negative 5, 10? Negative 5, 10. So if you have a negative 5, 10, if I come down by 3, I'm going to come back to the y coordinate to be 7. Now, the 10 say go to the right side. So negative 5 plus 10, just going to be 5. So all I need to do is, I need to mark 2 points, negative 5, 10, 5, 7. So let's go back to mark 5, 7. So where's 5, 7 will be? 5, 7. So that is 5, 6. That's going to be 5, 7. I don't really like the scale, but let's see if I can mark 5, 7. What is that coordinate? That's not quite what I want. Track the points, right point of the line, the graph. I first mark the point, negative 5, negative 5, 10. So first of all, that's not right, negative 5, 10. So that's the right point, negative 5, 10. Now I want my next point. What's the point we calculated? 5, 7. Let's go back and mark 5, 7. So that's not quite what I want, 5, 7. That's 5. 7 supposed to be 5, 7. So that's 4, 6. I'm not sure how to scale this. Let's try again, just for sure. I can't really mark that point. So let's see if I open this. Can you guys able to move around that on your screen?
Yeah.
5, 7. I can really get 5, 7. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move further. So if I can't go back to 5, 7, let's see what other whole number point I can move. I can go by 3 units down. So that's going to make it 4. And then I need to go back 10 units, 15, 4. But 15, 4 is not easy to sketch. 15, 4. Actually, yes, I can move 15, 4 easily. So 15, 4 is something I can easily mark. So that's 15, 4. Do you guys see how to play around with that? The challenge is here is, if I get my next point, it's not a whole integer, I can't really mark it. So you need to really think what will be the next point, another point you can get. Everyone see how do I get that point? I first mark the negative 5 comma 10. Easy. But when I try to mark the next point, I got 5 comma 7, which I can mark it. So I thinking, you know what? How do I go back to some point that I can mark it? Are you seeing that how we play around with this?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to leave that task for you to play around at home, but we need to move on. So we talk about so far where we are. We went up to here. So your homework is every question's on the section 5.4. Every question's on 5.4 exercise is going to be a homework. So that start from here, knowledge questions. And then you can see an application question. And then you can see something in question. We're going to move back to problem solving with the linear relation. So application. So let's go back to the first example. Find the equation of the line has a slope 1/2, passes through the point 2 comma 5. So any equation, you need to find two things. Mx plus b. So can you close your laptop now? You need to find m and b. Akshara, what is the slope of the line? Akshara, what is the slope of the line? What is the slope of the line? Vaishali? 1/2. Now, do I know y-intercept? Did they give the y-intercept? Huh?
Yeah.
Where? What's the y-intercept?
No,
No, they didn't. So they say we have the slope, but the line is passing through the point 2 comma 5. But they never say the y-intercept. What we're going to do is we're going to write the equation 1/2 of x plus b, isn't it? Now, when they say there's a point 2 comma 5 on a line, what does that mean? When x is 2, y is 5. Y is 5 and x is 2. So that is going to be 1. So b is equal to 4. So equation of the line is y is equal to 1/2 of x plus 4. And we learn how to graph it. First mark the y-intercept. Then go to 1 unit run, 2 unit to the right. 1 unit run, 2 unit to the right. Right over run. You can see that I can able to connect that point nicely. You can take the ruler to connect the points nicely. Did you copy it? What's happening in the world? Huh? Oh, this is not there? I didn't print this handout for you guys? Oh, yes, I didn't print the handout. Okay. You know what? While there. Can you guys do my online, folks, the next one? I completely forgot that I didn't print this page. I didn't realize it. So we are on. So equation of the line you have 144 to 159. 144. Okay, anyhow, you guys can do that question while waiting for this. 144 to 159. Right. And then I need to do a couple of things. Option, page layouts to, I need 2 copies. All right. All right. While I'm just waiting for that, can you guys get the next one? So, you done? Pass that, please.
Oh, I didn't write the full information.
Hmm?
I didn't write like.
Yeah, I just can check in whether you got the values right. The B values are correct. All right. Sure. What is the equation you got? Hmm?
How would you get 5 from B value?
How to get 5 for b value? The b value is not 5, b value is 4, sir. The 5 comma 2 is a point on the graph. So that means when x is 2, y is 5.
Okay.
Akshara. Okay, Akshara is away. Nishal,
Yeah,
what is the equation you got, Nishal?
I got y. Wait,
Nishal,
Yeah,
what did you get?
for the second question, right? I don't think so I'm right, but I got 4x plus b.
4x plus, what is your b?
I haven't solved for b. I just
So
put,
that is 4x plus b, 2 comma 1. So when x is 2, y is 1. So 4 times 2 plus b. So 1 is equal to 8 plus b. You have to be careful in solving the equation. So 1 minus 8 is b. So b is equal to negative 7. So how do we mark it? We're going to mark negative 7 here. And then we're going to going back to 4. So slope is 4, mean rise over run is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, run. 1, 2, 3, 4, run. So I can simply connect those points. You have a ruler, so you can connect them nicely. Are you just following that?
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna going back to some problem that involve the word problem. So can you guys do the word problem? First question number 1. Find the initial cost and the cost per person. And I'm gonna be glad to get it right now. You don't need a printout. You can write down the answers by looking at the questionnaire. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a little challenging because the previous one, obviously we can do things. Slope is given to us, but here the slope is the y-intercept, we can find it. They give the slope, but here they didn't give the slope. So let's show you how to do this. First step, we're going to find the slope. So how do I find the slope? Choose 2 points, isn't it? Are you seeing my screen, my online folks?
I think your camera's
No,
No.
it stopped.
It stopped sharing. Okay, kind of weird. Oh, it's done. Stop sharing. All right, so let me share this again. Okay. Share my screen. Start broadcast. Okay, pretty cool. So now, if I choose 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2, the slope or the rate of change, m, is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is my y2? 450. What is my y1? 250. What is my x2? 20 minus 10, isn't it? So what is 450 minus 250? 200. What is 20 minus 10? It's 10. 200 divided by 10 is 20, isn't it? So the equation is going to be 20x plus b. Makes sense? Now we need to find a b. You can choose any points to find a b because every single point is on the axis, on the line. So if I choose that, $850 is 20 times 40 plus b. So 850 is equal to 800 plus b, isn't it? So from here, you can solve for b. B is how much? 50, isn't it? So therefore, the equation is going to be 20x plus 50. Are you guys following that?
Yeah.
Now, how much? If the total cost of the activity is 750, how many people participate? So when they say total cost is 750, they are referring to the y value. So you're going to move the 50 to the other side. 700, solving for equation 20x, x plus b, 35. Are you following the picture?
Yeah.
Hello. Akshara, Nishal, Shraya, are you guys following? How do I get that question done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is, we need to fix it. 0, we find out how much is 0. 0 is going to be 50, isn't it? And 750 is? 750, you pay 35 people. So they asked to fill out a chart. So let's say that is makes sense. 20 people, 20 times 20 times 20 times 20 is 400 plus 5. Yes. $700 divided by 2. 700 divided by 20 is 70 divided by 2, 35. So you're confused with how it's going, but it's nothing to do with how that's going. I just following that? Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So now let's see a word problem. So almost done. The word problem. Sophia knows that it costs $25 to take taxi to work, which is 10 kilometers from home. She forgot what the fixed cost is. But remember that variable cost is $2 per kilometer. So she paid $2 per kilometer. But what she doesn't know is she doesn't know the variable cost and I have a fixed cost. So now Sophia knows that it costs $24 taxi to work. So she paid $25, but how far she's traveling? 10 kilometers, isn't it? Are you seeing the picture? So 24 is equal to 20 plus b. So there b is equal to 4. So what is my equation for that taxi company in 2x plus 4? How do I mark that? 4, 2 mean 2 or 1. So rise 2 unit, 1 unit to the right, 2 unit, 1 unit, 2 unit, 1 unit to the right. So that's going to be my line. Are you guys following that picture? Hello?
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward topic. There's no calculus involved. So we're just looking at the information provided to us. We know she paid $24, but we also know that she's paying $2 per kilometer, but we don't know how much is the taxi fixed cost is. That means whether she drive or not, she has to pay some money, isn't it? Okay. That's being said, another setup exercise for your word problem. The handout is there on the OneNote. I think on my Google Classroom, I post this handout. The OneNote, you can access it. So to make sure you guys can access the OneNote, I did the last class. How I did the last class, I put the OneNote link, the right OneNote link, perfectly pasted. So there shouldn't be no problem. You can access that by looking at when we started this task, November somewhere. Oh, yes. So this is that handout I posted. No, November 20th. So 27, yes. You can access that without no issues, the OneNote. On the OneNote, you can see my whole lesson is being posted. Just take and load it with a larger page. And if you scroll down, you should be able to see where we're working on. All right. So your homework for this week is both 5.4 lesson and 5.5 lesson, isn't it? Are you seeing that? So let me make that post. I'm not done yet. Some of you are packing up, so I'm not sure what the plan is. So I'm gonna say here, classwork, November 27th, homework. Please complete all the questions from section 5.4 and 5.5. One note lesson posted on OneNote lesson. When the OneNote lesson is posted, this OneNote lesson is November 25th lesson. All right. So my expectation is that what we're going to see next class, we will be finished learning this. Oh, I do have enough time. So some of you packed it. Class ends at 8 o'clock. All right. So you're going to do that's your homework. We're going to go back to point of intersection. Take it out your hand, sir. What is point of intersection is all about? A point of intersection will determine where two graphs crossing each other. So if you can see an example here, this is the point where two graphs crossing each other. This is the point where two graphs crossing each other. And a point of intersection is something important. So let's see, you're renting a wedding hall. One wedding hall just charges price per head. The other wedding hall charges some fixed cost and then price per head. But you need to decide which wedding hall you will choose. And it all depends on the number of people going for the wedding, isn't it? Same as a pizza cost. A pizza company charging flat rate, right, for number of pizzas, or fixed rate plus rate of change. So describe what the point of intersection represent on this case. The point of intersection basically saying for 100 guests, both hall A and hall B charges $2,500, isn't it? Are you seeing that? So Akshara, are you here? Akshara? Okay. Shreya, for how many guests each call is cheaper? For how many guests do you think each call is a good deal?
Um,
You need to look at that point. This is the point
Hall
you're
A.
talking. Sorry?
A.
Yeah, sure. A. Your answer is A. That's what you said. The question is for how many guests
Oh.
each call is cheaper. So let me explain, guys. If you look at the whole A, which is the blue dot, is cheaper only after 100 guests, isn't it? Because the graph is sitting below the red curve. Did you guys see that? So whole A is cheaper. Whole A is cheaper after 100 guests. You can see that because call A, the blue line, underneath the red line only after the 100 guests. Before that, blue line is above the red line, isn't it? Any guest less than 100, any guest less than 100, whole B is cheaper, isn't it? Do you see the picture? Yes, no? All right, I know you guys are tired. So we will work with the point of intersection next class. So that's going to be winding one part of the linear relation. The next part of the linear relation is where we're going to talking about transformation. Parallel lines, perpendicular line, rotating a line, what's going to happen, that's another part. When I finish linear relation, that's a huge chunk in algebra. So on the month of December, we will dive in back to, we learned solving equation, we learned polynomial. There are 2 units I'm going to touch last, financial math. We already did that financial math. Yeah, some financial math and data, something we will talk about end of the semester, which is the January. In December, my goal is going to be, after finishing linear relation, we will going back to measurement, which you have learned how to find the area of composite shapes, perimeter area. All right. Make sure you guys do the homework. Don't give me an excuse. And that's for you guys today. See you all next Wednesday.